I used to work for XYZ, and this is what we did, and you know, and I've learned from the best.
If you wanted to ring them for a reference to see how my work was there, like there's just being open about your past. I guess.
And
not too much, but in a professional manner. Hi guys, welcome to another episode with Paving the Way pod by RF Paving. This week we are going to talk about what makes a reputable landscaper, paving contractor, groundworker, whatever floats your boat. So first thing that I would like to say is having correct contact details, phone numbers, making sure that when the quotes come through, that basically everything tallies up, like the business address, the contact details.
And I think that, I know this sort of like kind of dismisses, you know, your new starters or whatever else, but you properly establish, you know, even somebody else who's started up a landscaping business or a paving contractor, whatever else, should have experience in that as well. And, you know, you should know where they've come from, who they've worked from before. And, you know, it's all right me saying, you know, they've got to be properly established. But, yes, if somebody has to start somewhere. A lot
of the time, though, when we do speak to, you know, really good landscapers, they have all started as a labourer and worked their way up and learned the trade. It is important. There's a lot of different aspects to it. I don't think it's a trade that you can just think tomorrow, right, I want to be a landscaper and have no previous knowledge in it, because that's going to be mistakes costed on your jobs, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's a little bit more of a, you know, I think we've said it before, we call them the lockdown landscapers, where people sort of like, you know, unfortunately had to earn some money, and the only thing that people could literally spend the money on was actually the garden. So we did get a lot of people like that, which, I don't know. Some of those might be great sort of like additions to the industry, but, you know, I think quite a few were just sort of like chanced their arm and sort of like thought, we'll lay some patios.
Easy money to make.
A little bit of, like I say, a little bit of knowledge can be sort of like very dangerous at times. So, yeah, I think having somebody who is reputable, I think, is a good thing up there, you know.
That the business address is where they say that it is. That if you can even look on, there's tools such as like Companies House, that they've not shut down the business every 2 years and been trading under 6 different names. That's a red flag. Yeah, absolutely. That I would look for on that.
No, I think you know, you're using that, the communication between you and them. You'll soon work it out. You know, if it's communications regular, you're professional. You know, they will sort of like obviously stand out from the rest with that. But I think, you know, past portfolios, you look at that, and again, I know that kind of dismisses people new starting up. Everybody has to start, but, you know, if you're looking at that,
but that's fine if you're clear about that.
Yeah,
like if
absolutely.
You are taking
I used to work for so and so.
Exactly. I used to work for this person. It's my first job alone. It might take a little bit longer time. Yeah, but this is what I'm planning, doing X, Y, and Z. They taught you through the process. That is fine.
Well, that again.
It's just being honest about it.
Yeah, and they would still be able to sort of like give you the past portfolio. They are doing that by being open and honest. Exactly. By sort of like saying, you know, I used to work for XYZ, and this is what we did, and you know, and I've learned from the best.
If you wanted to ring them for a reference to see how my work was there, like there's just being open about your past. I guess. Not too much, but in a professional manner.
Yeah, depends. Say what you want, but I think that is one of the main things, is sort of like having somebody who knows what they're doing, and I know you have to take people's word for them knowing what they're doing, but I think the past work just does show that. Yeah,
I agree. I think as well, it's asking the right questions. So when we're talking about a landscaper in particular, they should know everything. When you ask about the groundworks, the drainage, material types, and that's kind of their bread and butter. They will know everything about that. And I'm not saying you as a homeowner should know all those questions, but if you are taking on a really large project, or any project, to be honest, having the fundamental knowledge on it is important. And also you can tell when you ask someone a question how they're coming across, and then you can fact check what they say, just to make sure that you're comfortable with what they're talking about, because a lot of, like we've said before, a lot of people focus on just the paving element because, of course, it looks beautiful, it's what makes the garden, but it's the groundwork that most landscapers go wrong on. It's not the top material, it's the groundwork.
Yeah, well, and I know hopefully you've seen the episode with Lee from Gardens of Elegance in it. If not, watch again.
Wind back.
One of the biggest things that we say about in that is that the paving, every sort of like material that is put into a landscaping job is regulated. It's sort of like tested to this and that. It has to meet certain specifications, whatever else. But the installer, unfortunately, doesn't. There's no accreditation service for. Well, there are some, but there are some. Sorry, I'll take that back. There are some accreditation services, which is great, but there's no.
It's not testing the standard.
There's no
regulations
that you have to be to a certain level to install.
I think that will change. Hopefully, we'll keep pushing for it, but
hopefully so.
It's important, and especially in previous episodes when we've been talking about suds and everything like that, you've got to have a good understanding of it, because it's okay that you can just lay some paving down, but it's the whole fundamentals of a garden, really, like how soft landscaping, hard landscaping, drainage, everything works together as a cohesive garden project.
The installation process is far more important than what you're actually left with, and I know that's what you physically see at the end.
That's the exciting part.
Yeah, of course it is, and that's the type of thing. Of course it is, you've got that beautiful thing there, but if your installation's been substandard, then you are going to end up with issues going forward. So it's that thing that you've got to do into there. So I think having a contractor or a landscaper that is very au fait of not just throwing some flags down, you know what I mean? We can advise.
Just having an understanding about it all, being able to talk you through it, and you can. Well, when someone's got an understanding about something when you're talking about it, you should be able to ask questions and get the questions answered.
We sort of like saying when people buy our products, and we have a whole different range of people buy our products from, sort of like national companies to sort of like homeowners and everybody in between. If we've got an homeowner that's buying our products, we always advise them the correct method, how that should be laid, whether they're laying it themselves or not. But we feel that it's the good practice for us to say, like, if they're buying a porcelain slabs, that this needs to have a priming slurry applied to the back. It's not. If you want to do it, needs it.
To,
You know what I mean?
Well, it's a bit like dotting and dabbing. I can't think of a situation. There may be some, but not to my knowledge, where there'd be a reason for not having a full contact bed and dotting and dabbing. I would never advise that, because I've never come across a situation where you think, it's better that you dot and dab. To me, it's a cost-saving method that should not be used.
No, absolutely, yeah. So, we advise that. It's like, you're asking what makes a reputable landscaper. I don't know. All of these things interact. I think, having the knowledge behind not just laying flags is
100%.
Is a massive thing for me, and like you say, as a homeowner who's having the works carried out, how you find that out, it's one of those things which will come into communication with them. You will know.
No one wants to be quizzed and watched over with what they do. When I'm saying this, we don't mean stand over them, quiz them on every part, because they are doing a job for a reason. But when you are choosing between your quotes and speaking to your landscapers, we'll talk about the quotes in a second, but when you're speaking to them, because it's something that they do day in, day out, it'll be something that just rolls off the tongue for them. It's what they're used to doing. It's the terminology they're used to using. You will get an idea when you're speaking to them of who knows what they're talking about. And it's not just, like you said, about laying a slab. It's the whole concept of your garden and the groundworks being a really big thing. So to them, they're just briefing you on how they do the job, and you will get an understanding from that they know what they're talking about. It's just as simple as that. It's not quizzing every single thing they're doing. It's just making sure that the person that you pick has the understanding of how they're going to do the job, what materials they're going to use to do it, and what groundworks they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm just going to say the knowledge of materials that they will have, or should have, you know what I mean? It's like
even
things that
complement
each other, you know what I mean? Don't just have a full-on 100 square metres of paving. Break it up with different things. And
that's
different
when designers
like
come in as well, though, isn't it? Like, it doesn't always have to be the landscaper that is good at the design, but them giving you advice to say, look, you do have a 100 square metre area, let's bring this designer in to have a look at that as well, if it's what you want, and they can come up with a better concept between them. Because round peg, round hole, a landscaper's not necessarily going to be good at the design.
No.
Just like a designer might not be good at the landscaping. Two different roles.
We all know sort of projects that have taken place with architects want this and this happening. Well, is that actually feasible for the space that you've got, and can that be actually achieved? And
it's easier doing it on a piece of paper than it is to practically do it. So that's why everyone needs to work together. Yeah. But I just think talking to someone and having a basic understanding is important.
Yeah, and like I say, I think past portfolios are massive. So, you know,
not just the end product, the installation, because you can see it from that
before
as well.
And afters,
I think that's when people share end projects. I love seeing what it looked like before and seeing the steps.
That transformation, isn't it?
Yeah, so important.
That outdoor space, but
just quickly summarising accreditations though, sorry, because people do have. There is accreditations that are out there which you don't have to have, but by being part of that type of organisation, association, it means that you have to meet certain criteria, and it is another, for me, green tick. Not saying you have to have it, but it is definitely a green tick if you've got the accreditations associated with your name, and you're part of those bodies that they're constantly elevating each other, aren't they? Just through even networking events and awards. It's like you're being recognised.
Very much so.
For the
You know,
good work
if you're part of HTA, APL, Barley, whatever it is, you know what I mean? That is, you've deserved that because you've earned that to be part of that, and be surrounded by professionals of a similar ilk, and you know, and suppliers of materials that are going into those sort of like associations. You know, you have to be proving that you're up to a standard to be able to do that, or else you're not let in there, which is great, you know. And from that, I suppose if you've got people who are not in these, they could still do great jobs, but you know, that is the reason why the accreditations are there, to be able to sort of like put people guidance into.
And that is another thing as well, you use it for guidance, don't you? So not everyone knows every answer. The point is that they can question. Say if something comes up when you are doing the groundworks, something might come up that might be new to them, they might have never had to deal with that before. So it's having that they can say, you know what, I actually am not sure. Let me go back, ask the right people, and I'll have a solution for you tomorrow. It's not always about them knowing the answer then and there. No. It's just about the professionalism when things crop up.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing with this pen. It's coming like a friend. It was from when we were doing some planning. I'm just here like, I bet it's really annoying actually if you're watching it. Just popping it on and off. I'm putting the pen down. Now, the pen's going down.
The pen's down. But yeah, I know. At least we're not talking about muffs again.
Again?
These are called muffs, and I can't get it out of my head now. But yeah, it's
I can't. Honestly, that word's going to be scarred forever.
But yeah, back onto landscaping and reputable landscapers. I just think, like I say, you can't just go with your gut. You have to go with sort of like somebody who is reliable, proven track record,
good communication.
That's a massive thing for me, is that communication.
About actually the services and about what they're doing. And I think you will find if we are sort of like advising, then you know, you could sort of like say to people, go with somebody who's established. And word of mouth's a brilliant thing. Like if someone previously has had work done by that person, just speak to them. And to be honest, most people find great landscapers through word of mouth.
They do, yeah.
We often have landscapers that they'll work on an estate and they'll start with one house and they end up doing the whole estate because people talk. they see what work they've done, and they end up working on that estate for the next 2 years. It's word of mouth. It's
totally.
It's a very powerful advertising tool.
Or then, word of mouth can work in the opposite way as well. If they're not very good, then you can sort of like work in the opposite way, or they've had something go wrong, and like, we don't do that.
And not everyone has to start perfect. Everyone's got to start somewhere. The point is that you're being open about where you're starting with a willingness to learn the correct way.
Yeah, and like I said, the correct installation methods. I'll say it, and I'll say it over and over again, and no doubt get bored of me saying this, but the actual paving that we sell is only a finite amount of...
Yeah, it's the beautiful part there. It's the beautiful part.
A finite amount of the costs, and the preparation is key, and anything's only as good as what's underneath it in my eyes. So
also check with your suppliers. So if you do have a question, if there's something that you think, is this relevant, do I need to ask? Obviously, the people that are supplying your products should know these questions, so just ask the people around you, use your network, and you'll get the questions answered to the relevant people, really.
I think so, but choose
wisely.
Choose wisely, but you're making a massive investment into your outdoor space that you want.
Yeah, you want to vibe with your contractor as well.
I think so, you know what I mean?
If they're going to be at your house or on site for so many weeks, you want to get on with them. You want to
there's so many nice things that you see, isn't there, where, the homeowners make them all bacon sandwiches and cups of coffee and things like that. It's brilliant, stuff like that I think is massive.
On that side, always make your landscaper a cup of tea. You cannot leave someone, I don't know if this is a Yorkshire thing, but you can't leave someone working at your house for 4 or 5 weeks and never offer them a cup of tea. It's just, it should be illegal. I'm making it illegal. You have to offer them a cup of tea.
Bless you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I think that's it, to be fair. I don't think there's anything that we can say, right, yes, this makes a good landscaper. I think there's a whole load of different things that's in there which will prove themselves. Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
And if you are wanting some names of some reputable landscapers, get in touch as well, because we've got some great landscapers that use our products day in, day out. We know the quality of the work they do, and we'd be happy to pass the details on. And hopefully one of the next episodes will be with another one of these contractors, so we'll get a bit of a
just on that. I know we've sort of like getting a bit of a following now, but if there's any subject matter that you want us to talk about, or we want us some information about, you probably don't want us to talk about anything, but never mind.
Not with you keeping bringing up that.
But just let us know. Let us. We can get sort of like different sort of like angles on different people who you want to speak to. Like I say, if there's any particular products that you want to know about,
we've got some exciting guests coming up actually, which we think you will very much enjoy.
Absolutely.
So keep tuned.
No, look forward to that. But we'll see.
Fab. See you soon.
I've got
the pen again. It's come back.
There she goes.